Hello everyone, I'm Justin. Today, let's talk about a small tool that is deeply rooted in Chinese culture, chopsticks. You may have used them in a Chinese restaurant, but did you know they have a history of over 7,000 years? Just like knives and forks in Western dining, chopsticks are not just tools for eating, they carry a profound history and philosophy. Let's explore these magical little sticks together. First, let's go back to the origin of chopsticks. Unlike many inventions attributed to a single individual, the creation of chopsticks stemmed from a practical need. About 7,000 years ago, during China's Neolithic era, people had already mastered the use of fire and began to cook food, but the cooked food was too hot to be picked up by hand. So, people used small twigs or bamboo strips to pick up the food. This was the earliest form of chopsticks. Archaeologists discovered the oldest chopsticks at the Peiligang site in China's Henan province. They were made of bone, about 20 centimeters long, with one end sharp and the other rounded. This proves that chopsticks were already being used as eating utensils at that time. Later, as society developed, chopsticks also continued to evolve. During the Shang and Zhou dynasties, from about 1600 BC to 256 BC, they became a symbol of the nobility. The royal family used chopsticks made of bronze or jade, which were carved with exquisite patterns. During this period, the use of chopsticks was also incorporated into etiquette. For example, there were strict rules on how to hold them and which dishes could be picked up with them. It wasn't until the Qin and Han dynasties, that is, from 221 BC to 220 BC, that chopsticks became popular among the common people. Cooking methods had changed by then, and food was cut into smaller pieces, and more delicate dishes appeared. This made chopsticks more practical than spoons and knives. From then on, chopsticks became an indispensable part of daily life for the Chinese people. Now, let's look at the design of chopsticks. Have you ever noticed their length and shape? These are not set randomly. Every detail has a special meaning. First, the standard length of Chinese chopsticks is 7 kun and 6 fen, according to ancient Chinese measurements. This is about 25 centimeters, which is just right for an adult to hold. But more importantly, this length symbolizes the 7 emotions and 6 desires of human beings. The 7 emotions refer to joy, anger, sorrow, fear, love, hate, and desire, these 7 feelings. And the 6 desires are related to the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. This implies that chopsticks are a vessel that connects human emotions with daily life. After discussing the length, let's look at the core shape of the chopsticks. Almost all standard chopsticks are round on one end and square on the other. This is not a random design. It holds the Chinese cosmological view that heaven is round and the earth is square. The round end corresponds to the sky. This end is used to pick up food and put it into the mouth, symbolizing the absorption of nourishment from heaven and earth. The square end corresponds to the earth. It can stand steadily on the table, representing the stability of being rooted in life. Moreover, with this design, it doesn't roll easily on the table. This means that unlike round ones, they won't roll around on the table. What's even more ingenious is the pairing of the 2 chopsticks. They must work together to pick up food. This implies the Chinese philosophy of yin and yang balance. One is active and one is passive. They are only efficient when they work together, just like this. The active one can move, while the other one is stationary. This also reflects the importance that Chinese people place on cooperation. Also, when using chopsticks, the precise coordination of multiple fingers, the thumb, index, and middle fingers, makes them a great tool for training hand-eye coordination. It combines both practicality and wisdom. Besides their length and shape, the material of chopsticks also holds the imprints of different eras and cultural nuances. I have 2 pairs of chopsticks here. One pair is black and one is white. The white ones are the ceramic chopsticks that we use today. The black ones are steel chopsticks. They also have one square end and one round end. It's the same design. From the material, you can tell the user's status and the productivity level of the era. The earliest chopsticks, like those found at the Peiligang site, were mostly made of bone. This is because humans in the Neolithic era were primarily hunters. Bone was an easily accessible resource, and its hardness was sufficient for picking up food. Later, bamboo and wooden chopsticks gradually became mainstream, especially those made of bamboo and wood. They were low cost, lightweight, easy to process, and had natural textures, perfectly suiting the daily needs of the common people. To this day, they remain the most common materials for chopsticks. During the Shang and Zhou dynasties, the aristocracy began to use chopsticks made of bronze and jade. Bronze chopsticks are wear resistant and have a substantial feel, while jade chopsticks are smooth and translucent, symbolizing purity and nobility. These two materials not only highlighted the status of the aristocracy, but also reflected the superb craftsmanship of bronze smelting and jade carving of that era. After the Tang and Song dynasties, lacquerware craftsmanship flourished, giving rise to lacquer chopsticks. They often had exquisite patterns on the surface, combining both practicality and aesthetic value, and became a favorite among scholars and literati. In modern times, with technological advancements, chopsticks made of materials like stainless steel, plastic, and ceramic have appeared. Stainless steel chopsticks are durable and easy to clean, making them suitable for homes and restaurants. Plastic chopsticks are low cost and colorful, often used in disposable settings. Ceramic chopsticks, on the other hand, are aesthetically pleasing with a fine texture, becoming a popular choice for many households. The evolution of different materials essentially marks the transition of chopsticks from a practical tool to one that combines utility, aesthetics, and status. Chopsticks didn't just stay in China. With ancient cultural exchanges, they gradually spread to neighboring countries, becoming a core symbol of East Asian food culture, and also underwent local adaptations. This formed unique chopstick cultures. For Europeans and Americans, this is also a good perspective for understanding the interconnectedness of Asian cultures. Let's first look at the Korean peninsula. Chopsticks were first introduced from China. Initially, the shape of the chopsticks was similar, but later they were adjusted to suit local dietary habits. In terms of materials, metals like silver and brass were often used. Because there are many pickled foods locally which are quite acidic, metal chopsticks are more resistant to corrosion and more durable. They are slightly shorter than Chinese chopsticks, matching their smaller tableware and dining tables. In terms of etiquette, they continued the core of Chinese chopstick etiquette. For example, you can't tap bowls and plates with chopsticks, and you can't stick them upright in a bowl of rice. At the same time, local customs were integrated. When eating, chopsticks must be placed on a chopstick rest, not directly on the table. Within these details lies a respect for food. Now let's look at Japan. Chopsticks were introduced to Japan during the Sui and Tang dynasties. Initially, they were only used by the nobility, but later they gradually became popular among common people. To adapt to the Japanese diet, the modifications to chopsticks were more obvious. They became shorter, about 20 centimeters long. They are suitable for individual serving systems and small tableware. The tips are thinner and sharper because this makes it easier to pick up delicate foods like sashimi and sushi. In terms of materials, besides bamboo and wood, lacquerware chopsticks were also popular in Japan. They are painted with patterns like ukiyo-e and cherry blossoms, making the chopsticks a tool that combines both practicality and aesthetics. In terms of etiquette, Japan has refined chopstick etiquette to an extreme. For example, it's taboo to pass food with chopsticks. This is one of the most representative aspects of their localization. Then there's Vietnam. The introduction of chopsticks to Vietnam is closely related to Sino-Vietnamese cultural exchange. Their shape is closer to that of southern Chinese chopsticks, mostly made of bamboo or wood and of medium length. Adapted to local food, Vietnamese people are more skilled at techniques like rolling and picking up food with chopsticks. Culturally, Vietnam also links chopsticks with family values. The whole family sitting together and eating with chopsticks is seen as an important scene for maintaining family bonds. This is highly consistent with the Chinese concept of harmony in dining. Besides the utensils themselves, chopsticks also indirectly influence the dietary structure and social models of these countries. For example, the communal dining system in most East Asian countries. Although Japan mainly practices individual serving, traditional families still maintain the habit of communal dining. The communal dining system is made possible by chopsticks. It allows people to share a table of dishes, bringing them closer socially, forming a unique dining and social culture. And core etiquette like not tapping the bowl, not pointing at people, and not sticking chopsticks into rice has even become a consensus across countries, a testament to the interconnectedness of Asian culture. At this point, you should be able to understand that chopsticks are far more than just sticks for picking up food. From a survival tool for picking up cooked food thousands of years ago, to a cultural symbol embodying the concepts of a round heaven, a square earth, and the balance of yin and yang, and then to a cultural bond connecting many East Asian countries, it carries China's history, wisdom, and tolerance. Unlike the cutting nature of Western knives and forks, the core of chopsticks is cooperation and gentleness. This is precisely the foundation of Chinese culture. Next time you use chopsticks, you might want to pay attention to its origin, orientation, and standard length, and try to feel the cultural meaning behind them. They are like a small window. Through them, you can understand China more intuitively and understand the connections and differences between various Asian cultures. Okay, that's all we'll share for today. I hope you have a brand new understanding of chopsticks. Well, see you next time. If you like my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you, everyone.